On my birthday, I received a gift from my boyfriend's childhood friend. A pair of men's underwear. The card had only 4 large words. Return to owner. The lipstick print on the card was a blatant provocation. But what she didn't know was that I was live streaming. The chat exploded. Comments scrolled by in a frenzy. Holy shit. The mistress is making her move live on air. And I get to see this for free. The games rich people play. TSK TSK. I've seen that underwear on the official website. They mentioned it was exclusively custom. Made for the group's CEO. That seals the deal. The idea of a rich heir being devoted is a joke. I knew that as a seasoned actress. I should have immediately made up an excuse to smooth things over. Instead, I froze on camera, holding the underwear and the card, forgetting even to breathe. But how could I remain indifferent? The black men's underwear was painfully familiar. I had placed it in Vincent's suitcase with my own hands just 2 days ago. Embroidered in gold thread were his initials. VC. The letters were cleverly intertwined to form a single, elegant monogram. It symbolized that we were 2 parts of a whole. I still remembered the smug look in Vincent's eyes when he'd explained the design concept to me. A wave of humiliation, delayed but overwhelming, threatened to consume me. I had planned to announce my retirement and upcoming marriage at the end of the live stream today. The ring I had put on for the occasion now seemed to mock me, making me feel like a clown. The sourness in my chest was about to overflow, meeting the worried gaze of my manager, Brenda, behind the camera. I forced a smile. My eyes, unblinking for too long, were painfully dry. I tried to adjust my expression, speaking in the cheeriest voice I could muster. Thank you to this friend. This April Fool's gift is a little late. Let's open the next one. Less than 5 minutes later, the live stream was shut down. The Vincent Group's PR team had stepped in. I let out a breath of relief, the smile on my face finally collapsing. Everyone tactfully made a quick exit. Soon, only Brenda and I were left in the room. Brenda, have a drink with me. My voice was heavy with an exhaustion I couldn't hide. Brenda glanced at me cautiously. What about trying for a baby? She knew that Vincent's mother had never approved of me. The condition for her finally giving her blessing was that I get pregnant within 6 months. Vincent used to stand up for me, but this time, he had sided with his mother. He had just looked at me in silence, and I had no choice but to compromise. The thought sent a sharp pain through my heart, as if it were about to burst. I looked up at the ceiling, covering my eyes with my hand. I shook my head. I couldn't debase myself any longer. The incident from the live stream quickly became a trending topic on social media. Cora men's underwear. Audrey's homewrecker. Audrey the hopeless wife. Cora Audrey Vincent. Audrey 30th birthday live stream. Brenda rushed back to the company to strategize. I sat on the sofa, my mind a blank. My phone kept vibrating, but I ignored it. I don't know how much time passed before the front door slammed shut with a loud bang. Vincent's roar followed. Audrey, you've gone too far this time. I rubbed my face and took a deep breath. Looking over at him, he strode towards me, radiating anger. His clothes were wrinkled, his tie a mess. The cloyingly sweet perfume wafting off him made me want to laugh. The tearing pain in my heart vanished instantly. I was completely calm now, calm enough to joke with him. Vincent, I never knew Italy was so close to here. You're back in less than an hour. Did you take a rocket? Vincent's expression stiffened. He guiltily avoided my eyes. He pursed his lips before saying coldly, "Don't change the subject. Why did you deliberately humiliate Cora on your live stream tonight? Do you know she's been crying nonstop?" Audrey, I'm very disappointed in you. You were never like this before. You seem like a stranger to me now. Huh. Had I changed? Or had you? The sarcasm on my face must have been too obvious, because Vincent became flustered and angry, his accusations spilling out like a torrent. I've been busy with work lately, so I've neglected you a bit, but that's because I was trying to make time to prepare for our wedding. You can be upset with me, but you can't take it out on Cora. You're not young anymore. Stop being so willful. Cora has depression. What you did was basically trying to push her to her death. She's our little sister. I couldn't help but laugh coldly. Let me stop you there. She's your little sister, not mine. I didn't have a childhood friend who was my little sister. Vincent yanked off his tie, his voice rising. Audrey, stop making a scene. No one to stop. I was baffled. Am I the one making a scene? Did I mail that underwear to myself? Did I write that note? I hadn't done anything. Yet somehow I was the one at fault. Why did you have to open Cora's gift? She's just a kid who likes to play harmless pranks. Did you have to embarrass her in front of so many people? You've been in this industry for so long. You can't handle a little surprise. I think you froze on purpose. It felt like 1,000 balloons were exploding in my chest. I was shaking with anger, but I gritted my teeth and stood tall. But my voice betrayed my vulnerability when I spoke. Vincent, did you ever really love me? After all these years, don't you know me at all? Why would you say such things? A ringing phone cut me off. Sniff. Vince, where did you go? So many people are messaging me. I'm so scared. It's all my fault. I'm sorry. Maybe I should just die. Cora's voice came through the receiver, every word ending with a manipulative hook. It was all an act. There wasn't an ounce of real sadness in it. But Vincent fell for it completely. His face went pale, his tone softening instantly. Cora, sweetheart, don't look at your phone right now. Leave everything to me. I'll be right there. I hadn't heard him speak so gently in 5 years. Back then, after my mother passed away, I was lost. He had spoken to me with that same gentleness. Audrey, you still have me. I'll be good to you for the rest of my life. How things change. I never knew a lifetime could be so short. After hanging up, Vincent rushed to leave. As he turned, he threw one last sentence at me. Whatever it takes. Fix this by noon tomorrow. Otherwise, the wedding is postponed. At the door, he turned back and looked at me, silent for a full minute. A sliver of hope rose in my heart. You promised you'd introduce Cora to Director Miller. Let me know when it's set up. I'll arrange the dinner. My breath caught as the door clicked shut. I could no longer stand. I slid to the floor, defeated, from beginning to end. He hadn't shown an ounce of concern for me. He never considered how I might be hurt in all of this. He only cared that Cora was being criticized. But he never saw the public mockery I was enduring. He didn't even explain why he, who was supposed to be on a business trip to Italy, had appeared so quickly. He had even forgotten that today was my 30th birthday. Without a single happy birthday, he had rushed off to another woman. Today was also the 10th anniversary of the day we got together. Did the man who would show up at midnight with birthday wishes, even when I was filming in the remote mountains, ever really exist? The memory seemed to haze over. That unforgettable feeling of being moved seemed to be shrouded in mist. This 10-year-long relationship. I should have bowed out the moment Cora reappeared. I'm so tired, pretending to be deaf and dumb for so long. It's exhausting. At 3 in the morning, I received a message from Cora. Did you like the gift? Audrey, I hear you hand. Wash all of Vincent's underwear. Don't forget to wash this one clean. If you don't like it, I can send you another one. Image. JPG. It was a photo of Vincent, eyes closed, kissing her. I saved the screenshot and the image. After a minute, I slowly typed, Sweetie, are you trying to give me more material because you think this isn't getting enough attention? You're the best. Got any more? Cora tried to send the message, but after 2 minutes, she could only retract the photo. I could imagine her panicking, perhaps out of defiance or fury. She sent 2 more messages. The one who isn't loved is the real third wheel. Audrey, you're 30. I'm only 24. Can you even compete? Yes. I was 30. I met Vincent when I was 20. We fell in love. In these 10 years, we had our fights, but neither of us ever talked about breaking up. In the peak of our love, Vincent would say, his eyes red, that his greatest wish was to marry me. When he first took over his company, he was incredibly busy, but for a single I miss you from me, he would drive 8 hours to visit me on set, see me for a moment, and then rush back. Perhaps love just vanishes in an instant. Even the most passionate love can grow stale over time. Sometime during the night, a storm had started outside. The tightly wound string in my mind suddenly snapped. Tears fell, drop by drop, onto the screen. It was sadness. And it was goodbye. I didn't want to know why Vincent cheated. I didn't want to ask what made Cora better than me. I gave this relationship 100%. I had no regrets. Even in pain, I had to cut off this unhealthy relationship. In the midst of the storm, I chose to cast away all the love and hate. As dawn broke, I posted on my social media, unlocked level 30, currently single. All my time will be spent on loving myself. Perhaps it was the relief of finally letting go. I slept until 3 in the afternoon. I was still groggy when I woke up, my hand automatically reaching for my phone under the pillow. When I turned it on, countless messages popped up. Friends, acquaintances. Everyone was asking if we had really broken up. I swiped them all away and opened my chat with Brenda. Hey, the team and I pulled an all-nighter coming up with a strategy. And you just go and do this. Wasted our whole night. Well, what can we do? We'll just have to spoil you. Actually, this was one of our potential plans. We were just worried you wouldn't agree. Text me when you're up. We'll celebrate. Babe, still not awake. I ordered you some food. It's at the door. Don't forget to get it. My eyes welled up. Just as I was about to reply, Brenda called. The moment I answered, her uniquely cheerful voice came through. I saw you've been typing for 3 minutes. What? Too moved to speak. Don't give me that. It's cheesy. Get up and eat. I burst out laughing. Okay. I'm getting up now. I opened the curtains, and sunlight flooded in. The window reflected my image, smiling, bright, and full of life. It wasn't as hard as I had imagined. In fact, life felt full of hope. I stopped laughing and said seriously, Brenda, I want to move. All right, I'll be there in 30 minutes. We'll move today. Brenda was a woman of action. She rolled up her sleeves, ready to empty the entire apartment. I quickly stopped her, only taking my important documents and everyday clothes. I left all the bags and jewelry Vincent had given me. On the way, Brenda kept glancing at me, sighing repeatedly. I said, annoyed, I'll just take a few more acting jobs, and I'll earn the money back, won't I? Isn't it better to buy things for myself? You know his mother. She's terrified I'll take a single penny from their family. If I took the gifts, she'd curse me out. Brenda pouted. You can leave them. But I don't want to let Vincent off so easy. You were with him for 10 years. You gave him your youth. Her voice trailed off, a little wistful. I fell silent too. Yes, we were in love for 10 years. After overcoming so many obstacles, he took a different path right before the finish line. Falling in love is easy. Staying together is hard. The atmosphere in the car grew heavy for a moment. I shook my head, clearing my thoughts. I turned and patted Brenda's shoulder with a mischievous grin. But I also got to enjoy his most vibrant years. It's not a loss. Honestly, men over 30 really do go downhill. You gotta find a younger one. Brenda slapped her hand down. Hey, you just reminded me. I got a script today. You'll definitely love it. They say what you lose in love, you gain in your career. The ancients were right. She snapped her fingers, her tone high. Actress Audrey, would you like to have a 3-month romance with a handsome, top-tier younger man? He hasn't even had his first on-screen kiss yet. I didn't take Brenda's words seriously, focusing instead on the script. It was excellent. The more I read, the more I loved it. I read it over and over, unable to believe I was being considered for the female lead. The script and the production team were all top tier. With my resources, I'd be lucky to even get the second female lead. A hater once sneered that I would leech off Vincent for the rest of my life. But in my 8 years in the industry, every step I took was my own. I'd gone into the water 5 times with a 104-degree fever just for a perfect shot. I'd stayed up all night memorizing the most difficult lines, never making a mistake. To get closer to a character, I could go without a single speck of meat during filming, with no connections and no resources. You have to work harder than everyone else to get ahead. I could endure any hardship. Vincent had felt sorry for me and wanted to throw money at my career, but I had firmly refused. Our relationship was normal. We were equals. I didn't want to be looked down upon by others, and especially not by his family. And if money was involved, it would be harder to make a clean break. Perhaps even then. I had foreseen this day. Without love, I still had my career. On the day of the audition, I didn't wear any makeup to fit the character's image, but I never expected to run into a perfectly made up Cora in the hotel corridor. Being handsome doesn't make you special. Being the youngest award-winning actor doesn't make you special. My arm is sore from holding up my phone, and he just casually says he doesn't use that messaging app. It's so infuriating. Cora was yelling, her assistant murmuring comforts beside her. I pulled my hat down, trying to be invisible, but I was still recognized. Audrey. She knocked my hat off and lifted my chin with her long nails. Seeing my face, she couldn't hide her triumphant smirk. Audrey, dear, you look so worn out after just a few days. You're a veteran. After all, you can't just let yourself go. She deliberately emphasized the word veteran, her concern a veiled taunt. Vincent is waiting for me in the parking lot. Why don't we have dinner together? You haven't seen him in a few days, have you? In all these days, Vincent had only contacted me once. The morning I announced I was single, he had sent me a message. Your company pulled an all-nighter and came up with this garbage PR strategy. Whatever. You're retiring after we get married anyway, so you don't need to explain much to the public. His condescending tone was identical to Cora's now. How had I never noticed how perfect they were for each other? I looked at her, my face a blank mask. A good dog doesn't block the way. I'm in a hurry. I slapped her hand away, picked up my hat, and walked off without looking back. The audition was in a small suite. I was half an hour early, but when I arrived, there were no other actors waiting. I was scheduled to be the last one. My heart sank. In this situation, it usually meant I was just a formality. Director Miller seemed friendly, not at all like the eccentric old man from the rumors. He looked at me for a moment, then nodded with a smile. You came without makeup. Good. Let's start when you're ready. On the sofa next to him, someone was curled up, their face hidden by a hat. I glanced at them briefly and looked away. Director, which scene are we doing? Director Miller nonchalantly kicked the person next to him. Leo, get up. Run lines with your leading lady. It was clear they were close. When Leo stood up, I realized how tall he was. At least 6 feet 1 inch, with a narrow waist and broad shoulders. He was lean but not scrawny. He was indeed very handsome. Sharp brows, piercing eyes. When he wasn't smiling, he looked cool and distant. When he smiled, his dimples appeared, and he looked like a mischievous boy. The two contradictory qualities blended together surprisingly well. He definitely lived up to Brenda's description of top tier. I stared for a moment too long, until he raised an eyebrow at me. I quickly looked down, and thought I heard a faint chuckle. It was like a feather brushing against my heart. A little ticklish. The audition went smoothly. Leo was young, but his acting was superb. Playing opposite him, it was easy to get into character. When we finished, I still felt like I wanted to do more. I looked at him, and he was looking at me. His gaze was so intense it felt like a burn. I quickly turned to Director Miller. The director's face was tense. My heart sank. Just as I was about to speak, he broke into a grin. Excellent, he said with a smile. If you can maintain that chemistry, you can start preparing your award acceptance speeches for the end of the year. I smiled too, but my smile quickly faded. The director asked, if I told you the second female lead might be Cora, that the Vincent Group wants to insert her, what would you think? So running into Cora wasn't a coincidence. She was here to audition too. I thought for a moment, then answered honestly. Director, since you're asking me this, you must know about the situation between us. If it comes out that we're in the same movie at a time like this, it will definitely cause a lot of discussion. The attention would be good for the film, but public opinion is a double-edged sword. I value this project, and I don't want it to be a gimmick. I bowed my head slightly. I'm sorry, Director, but in that case, I might have to reconsider signing. Director Miller stroked his beard. Satisfied, he glanced at Leo and lowered his voice. So you really broke up? You're single now? Yes, we really broke up. I'm single. I never knew such a respected director could be so gossipy. I didn't dare to comment, just answered obediently. He nodded, satisfied. All right, that's all for today. Pack your bags and get ready to join the cast. The conditions are tough, so be prepared. Leo, see your leading lady out. This was the second time today I had heard that phrase. Something felt strange, but I told myself I was overthinking it. In the enclosed elevator, I stared awkwardly at the display screen. I could feel Leo watching me. His gaze was too intense to ignore. Why did you break up? His clear voice suddenly broke the silence. Huh. I was startled and looked at him instinctively. The moment our eyes met, it was like diving into a clear spring. My mind went blank. It took me a moment to answer. He cheated. I fell out of love. Do you like younger guys? The topic changed so quickly that I blurted out. Who doesn't like younger guys? Oh no. My usual flippant humor had made my response a little too smooth. Leo was stunned for a second. then couldn't help but let out a low laugh. Well, that's great. He paused before continuing. We have a good shot at the awards. Director Miller will be very happy. I couldn't help but look at him again. His eyes were full of mirth. It was as if a stone had been thrown into a calm lake, creating endless ripples. I smiled too. I had driven myself. Leo watched me get into my car before he left. After a few steps, he turned back and knocked on my window. As soon as I rolled it down, he held out his phone. Audrey, can I get your number? It's a pleasure to be working with you. Maybe it was the dim light in the parking garage, but I thought I saw a hint of nervousness in his eyes. After I scanned his code, he left. I patted my head, chiding myself for overthinking. Just as I was about to start the car, someone knocked on the window again. My smile froze when I saw who it was. Seeing no reaction, Cora knocked again. I sighed and rolled down the window. What did Leo say to you? Is there a problem? I replied coldly. Sorry. No comment. Cora was agitated, her voice on the verge of cracking. I saw him hand you his phone, and you scanned it with yours. Did he ask for your number? I rolled my eyes dramatically, glancing at the person behind her. I raised my voice. Aren't you going to control her if we get photographed? I'm not explaining anything. Vincent slowly approached and took Cora's arm. Cora seemed to snap out of it, like a performer changing masks in an opera. She shrank into Vincent's arms, trembling. Vincent looked at me, patted her back, then gently pushed her away. He stared into the empty space and said in a low voice, Cora has been a little unstable lately. I wasn't sure who he was explaining to, not wanting to waste any more time. I quickly rolled up the window, but his words still drifted in. I'm coming home tonight. What's that got to do with me? How annoying. At 10 that night, Vincent blew up my phone. I didn't want to answer, but his relentless calls were impossible to ignore. The moment I picked up, I heard him sneer. Audrey, what is the meaning of this? The meaning of what? I played dumb. Where are you? What does leaving the engagement ring on the coffee table mean? Did you need something? Vincent cleared his throat awkwardly. Ahem. I was bringing you your birthday present. Huh. Vincent, don't you think that's hilarious? My birthday was weeks ago. His voice softened completely. Audrey, I'm sorry. I've been so busy lately. Busy taking care of your little sister. I know. After 10 years, I knew exactly what to say to make him angry. Sure enough, a roar came through the phone. Audrey, can you stop being so unreasonable? My voice was calm and cold. Vincent, you're the one being unreasonable. You want to enjoy Cora's youthful sweetness and also have me act like nothing happened. Waiting at home for you. Still in love. The world doesn't work that way. If you couldn't understand my social media post, then I'll tell you officially now. We're broken up. The other end was silent. Only the sound of breathing. The increasingly heavy breaths told me he was failing to suppress his anger. Audrey, what do you mean? It means exactly what you heard. Cora is my sister. We're innocent, he said, taking a deep breath before continuing. We've known each other for so long. If anything was going to happen, it would have happened a long time ago. I rolled my eyes. Are you done? If you're done, I'm hanging up. You don't believe me. He sounded like the victim now, his voice full of sorrow. I was so angry I laughed. Vincent, I never knew you were such a good actor. You make me sick. Fine. Audrey, you'll regret this. You won't find anyone better than me. I'll be waiting for you to come crawling back. Vincent hung up in a rage. I immediately blocked his number. A week later, I was on set. I heard the production team had been assembled for a while, but was delayed because of casting. So as soon as the actors were confirmed, filming could begin immediately. The location was a remote small town. The signal was terrible. A video call would freeze like a slideshow. Bored, Brenda started hanging out with the assistant director every day and came back with a lot of gossip. For example, it was Leo who had refused to have Cora in the movie. It didn't matter that the Vincent Group had pulled their funding. Leo had brought his own investment. He was set to inherit a fortune. And Director Miller was Leo's uncle. They were very close. I took it all in stride. What I was most curious about was, then why the sudden rush with casting and getting us on set so quickly? Brenda looked around, then covered her mouth and whispered, the main investor for this film is Leo's family. He was always set as the male lead. It was the female lead that was undecided. He's always done serious dramas. This is his first romance film, so he's being very careful. Brenda's voice got quieter, and I had to lean into here. Apparently, Leo suddenly told the director in the middle of the night that he had someone in mind for the female lead. I don't know how many people they auditioned before they found us. Brenda was still talking, but I was lost in thought. No wonder Director Miller had emphasized, "You're leading lady," twice. So that was the story. Why did he choose me? His clear eyes and intense gaze felt familiar, but I couldn't place where I had seen him before. I racked my brain, but I was sure we had never met. He's not here this week. I kind of miss his handsome face. He's got a great body too. That action scene he filmed the other day. That waist. Those legs. Wow. Leo was away for a week for an event. I missed him too. My mouth moved faster than my brain. Me too, I said instantly. The two words exploded in my ears like thunder. Luckily, my voice was too quiet. Brenda didn't hear. What did you say? I didn't catch that. Huh. I pretended to have been zoning out. Oh, nothing. The assistant director is calling me. I have to go shoot. I hurried away. My frantic footsteps mirrored my racing heart. It was only April, but I felt like I was getting heat stroke. My whole body was hot. I don't know when Leo got back, but as soon as I finished my scene, I met his focused gaze. Intense, passionate, undisguised. For a moment, I didn't dare to look at him directly. I just nodded in his direction as a greeting. We had only been apart for a week, but it felt like a lifetime. There was so much I wanted to say to him. At dinner that night, as the leads, we were the center of attention, constantly being called upon. There was no opportunity to speak to him alone. Halfway through, Leo took a call and left. A minute later, I got a message from him. Waiting for you at the turn in the second floor stairwell. My heart skipped a beat. I made an excuse and slipped out. I felt inexplicably nervous on the way. Before I even reached the corner, I saw him leaning against the wall. My pace slowed, and I shuffled over. He was smiling at me the whole time. His two dimples appeared, and he looked to be in a very good mood. What's up, Audrey? You were looking at me all through dinner. Is there something you wanted to say? I nodded. Director Miller told me you were the one who chose me for the female lead. I wanted to thank you for the opportunity. So how are you going to thank me? Huh. It's not just going to be a verbal thank you, is it? He bent down, bringing his face close to mine. His fresh scent washed over me. My breath hitched. I instinctively took a step back and nearly lost my footing. Leo grabbed me, his hand on my waist for a fleeting moment. He winked at me and said with a mischievous grin, Audrey, don't overreact. I'm not asking you to go bankrupt to thank me. If you really want to thank me, you can help me out with our scenes tomorrow. I don't have much experience with this, and I don't want to slow things down. I quickly nodded. A few seconds later, I realized something was wrong. Tomorrow's scene was an intimate one. Heat rushed to my face. I felt flustered and stammered. If there's nothing else, I'll head back. I don't know why, but I was always so easily flustered around him. With that, I ran. It was a full-on retreat. That night, I found myself searching for Leo's name online. By the time I realized how strange this was, I had already joined his fan club. Without a doubt, Leo was an outstanding actor of his generation. Young, with an impressive resume, and no scandals or... So why was he flirting with me? From the moment we met, he had been flirting with me, openly and subtly. I wasn't an idiot. I could feel the passion in his eyes. During filming these past few weeks, I would often catch him staring at me, but Brenda had told me he had someone he liked. My assistant had also said his phone's home screen was a side profile of a girl. Maybe he was just a good actor, fully immersed in his role. An actor has to separate reality from the script. After all these years of acting, how could I have forgotten such a fundamental rule? I slapped my face to clear my head. As the director had predicted, it was a rainy day, perfect for shooting a love confession scene in a downpour. The time and place were right. All we needed were the people. The director called us over to go over the scene. After he finished, he handed his thermos to Leo. Drink this. It'll help you get into character. Don't be a coward. Give it your all. The moment he opened the cap, a strong smell of alcohol filled the air. Director. Leo was flustered and angry. I struggled to keep a straight face. All right, let's get ready to shoot. Leads, take your places. Getting into character was no problem for me, But it was a big challenge for Leo. The moment my hand touched his waist, he froze like a block of wood. He couldn't even get his lines out properly. Director Miller started yelling. Leo just scratched his head and took the scolding. I felt a little bad. I hadn't realized he was really that innocent. It was just a touch of the lips. I didn't know what he was so worked up about. During a break, Leo came over, looking conflicted. Brenda tactfully left, closing the door behind her. You don't think I'm a bad actor, do you? Leo's eyes were wide as he looked at me, like a big dog needing comfort. I quickly soothed him. Of course not. Your skills are well known. It's okay. It's always like this the first time. You just have to get over this hurdle. Ahem. Well, next time you hold me, can you put your hand somewhere else? I'm ticklish, he said, his tone pitiful. I nodded. Okay. Any other requests? Can you not stare at me so much? It's distracting. Okay, I'll try. Seeing me agree so readily, his frown finally smoothed out. Then can you like me? Okay. Huh. Leo burst out laughing. Just kidding. I'm ready now. Let's shoot. Before he finished, he got up and left. His bright red ears flashed past my eyes. When we started filming again, everything went smoothly. When I held him, he gently held me back. When he leaned in to kiss me, I instinctively closed my eyes. First, I felt his breath, then his warmth. Finally, a heart beating like a drum. I didn't know if it was his or mine. It was only for a moment, but it felt like an eternity. While filming a wide shot, Leo buried his face in my neck and whispered, Audrey, want to date me? I instinctively tried to look up, but he stopped me. Don't move. He hasn't called cut yet. I finally understood what it meant for time to drag on. Leo was still chattering away. What do you like about Vincent? Whatever he has. I have too. And I'm younger. I don't have any messy childhood sweethearts or exes. Most importantly, Before he could finish, the director yelled, Cut. I quickly stepped back, putting distance between us. Leo didn't move. His dark pupils were locked on me, his eyes full of a deep emotion. I took a deep breath. What do you mean? Leo's voice was low and husky, his expression serious. I'm confessing to you. I like you, and I want to be with you forever. I replied coolly. Leo, you're too deep in character. He lowered his head and, after a long pause, said bitterly, You still can't forget him. I was just one step too late. The last part was said so softly I didn't hear it. Afraid of the situation getting out of control, I didn't deny it. I just wanted to finish this movie smoothly. That night, to promote an upcoming film festival, the production released some stills and interview clips. The shot of me and Leo staring deeply into each other's eyes in the rain was among them. It caused quite a stir. Vincent started spamming me with messages like a madman. After I blocked his number, he switched to a new one and started texting. My mom's birthday is next week. Have you gotten her a gift yet? We can fight, but don't let my mom find out. Otherwise, there's no going back. Say something. Are you really breaking up with me? Didn't you promise to retire? Why are you filming again? That co-star of yours likes you, doesn't he? In the video, his eyes are practically glued to you. So that's it. You break up with me because you've already found someone else. Is that it? You're really something. What did our 10 years mean? Where are you? I didn't bother to reply, just blocked the new number. In the middle of the night, after reviewing my lines for the next day, I was about to go to sleep. The doorbell rang. Through the peephole, I saw a travel-worn Vincent. He impatiently rang the bell again, fearing he would start banging on the door. I quickly threw on a coat and a hat. I removed the security latch and pushed the door open, shoving him aside. I gave him a cold look. Let's talk downstairs. The hotel walls were thin. The rain was still pouring down. I got an umbrella from the front desk and walked out into the rain. Vincent followed, ducking under the umbrella and taking it from me. He led me to his car. Audrey, stop this. This is the longest we've ever been apart. I can't take it. The house is so empty without you. I drove 5 hours to get here. I'm exhausted. Can you just forgive me? He tugged on my sleeve, using his usual pity-me tactic. But he didn't know that it only worked when I loved him. I crossed my arms, not even looking at him. There's really nothing between me and Cora. That underwear was just an April Fool's joke. She's been regretting it too. She kept urging me to come find you. I couldn't help but sneer, cutting him off. Vincent, I'm not interested in your business with her. We're not fighting. We've broken up. Don't you understand? I pulled up the photo Cora had sent me on my phone and challenged him. Does it only count as something if you've slept together? Vincent, you're disgusting. I couldn't stop myself. I slapped him. Before I got out of the car, I said to him solemnly, don't come looking for me again. Let's part on good terms. Don't make me lose all respect for you. His head was bowed, still in the position he was in when I slapped him. But I didn't feel sorry for him at all. He deserved it. I hadn't run far towards the hotel when an umbrella appeared over my head. I looked up to see a tense-faced Leo. Does he really love you? Letting you walk in the rain like that? If it were me, I wouldn't be able to bear it. His tone was stiff, but I couldn't help but smile. Exactly. That's why he's an ex-boyfriend. Leo turned his face away, but I still saw the corner of his mouth lift into a smile. Are you sure you're not coming in? I asked, standing at my door. Leo shook his head. It wouldn't be good for your reputation. You should go take a shower. Don't catch a cold. Okay, but there's one thing I need to confirm. I held out my hand. Can I see your phone? Without hesitation, Leo unlocked his phone and handed it to me. The screen showed the side profile of a girl. It was none other than a 22-year-old me in a graduation gown. Leo would have been 18 then, just out of high school. My mouth opened. 100 questions on the tip of my tongue, but I didn't know where to start. Leo placed his hands on my shoulders and gently pushed me towards my room. Go take a shower first. I'll explain later. I showered as quickly as I could. When I came out, there was already a photo on my phone. It was a picture of me on the auditorium stage at my old high school. In the bottom right corner, written in marker, was September 1st, 2017. It took me a while to remember. That year, I had won Best Newcomer for my first film and was invited back to my alma mater to give a speech to the graduating class. So our first meeting was that long ago. Another message from Leo came through. You were the only person invited to audition for the female lead. I'm not too deep in character. I'm hoping to turn fiction into reality. I stood up and paced around the room. The overwhelming emotions were impossible to put into words. I picked up my phone and put it down several times. Finally, I made a call. Hey, Brenda. Is my scene tomorrow in the afternoon? Oh, and does Leo have any scenes in the morning? No reason. Just asking. Bye. After getting the confirmation I wanted, I grabbed my car keys and left the room, waiting for you in the parking lot. Less than 5 minutes after I sent the message to Leo, he appeared. Leo, let's go see the sunrise. I needed to give him an answer. As we waited for the sun to rise, we talked a lot. I laid bare the entire story of my relationship with Vincent. How we met, how we fell in love, and how we fell apart. I once thought we would make it to the end, but now it's ended so ugly. That relationship took too much out of me. Leo, do you understand what I'm saying? I was moved by everything he had done for me, so I didn't want to lead him on. Leo listened in silence, his expression calm. He tightened the blanket around me, which had been loosened by the wind, before speaking seriously. I'm not him. He was full of disdain when he mentioned Vincent. If I ever cheated, you wouldn't have to do a thing. My dad would beat me to death. It's a family motto in my family. He who mistreats his wife will lose all wealth. He who loves his wife will see his fortunes rise. We're not like the Vincents. He cupped my face and asked seriously, Audrey, you just have to tell me, have you ever, for even a second, been moved by me? I hesitated, unable to say no. He immediately hugged me, ecstatic. They say the best way to get over one relationship is to start a new one. It's okay if you can't forget him. You don't have to do anything. I'll erase all traces of him. He looked at me, full of a charming arrogance. With me by your side, how could you possibly have eyes for anyone else? Besides, men over 30 are practically 60. He's 31, and I'm only 27. He winked at me. I'm in my prime. Oh, so in 3 years, you'll be 62. I teased. Leo laughed and pinched my cheek. I'm gifted. My vitality is eternal. I'm not like other people. I couldn't help but laugh with him. In the light of dawn, we kissed passionately. At the bottom of the mountain, we ran into Vincent. He was unshaven and looked completely defeated. He was leaning against his car, the ground littered with cigarette butts. He must have seen my car and followed us. As we approached, he slowly straightened up and threw a punch at Leo. Leo dodged, pushed me behind him, and punched Vincent back. Vincent fell to the ground. I quickly pulled Leo towards the car. I didn't want to be tainted by the bad luck. Audrey, I saw everything. Me once, you once. We're even. Let's just pretend nothing happened and go back to the beginning. Okay. I've already had someone order a new wedding dress. We can get married next month. Okay. Vincent's face was twisted, his voice hoarse. I looked back in disbelief. Vincent, when did you become like this? What do you take me for? You can degrade yourself, but don't you dare insult me. He tried to grab me, but Leo kicked him again. On the way back, Leo was even angrier than I was, listening to him rant. I actually calmed down. You have to look forward. Everyone stumbles when they're young. You have to cherish the happiness you have now. I reached out and intertwined my fingers with his. He fidgeted for a moment, then squeezed my hand tighter. Filming proceeded smoothly. After my repeated insistence, Leo and I started dating in secret. But you can't hide fire in paper. The first person to find out was Brenda. She didn't say anything, just gave me a thumbs up. On the last day of filming, Director Miller said to me with a smile, "Remember to ask me to be your witness at your wedding." I hadn't managed to keep it a secret from anyone. I just gave a sheepish smile and nodded. Leo showed me in every way that he was different from Vincent. When I made it clear that I wanted to focus on my career and not have children, he went to the hospital the very next day and had a vasectomy. After he told his family we were dating, I received a package that afternoon. Inside was his family register. The film was a huge success, winning Best Picture that year. Leo and I won Best Actor and Best Actress. He stood on stage and held his award up to me. I raised mine and clinked it with his from across the room. If happiness could be visualized, it was this moment. When you're busy, time flies. In the blink of an eye. It was my 31st birthday. The celebration was, once again, a live stream. Chatting with fans while opening gifts. This year, the live stream went off without a hitch. After it ended, Brenda and I raised our glasses in a toast. Brenda, thank you, I said, raising my wine glass. I know you deliberately put that gift in the pile last year. Brenda smiled and downed her wine. You have to break to build anew. Audrey, you deserve better. With that, she handed me a small box. Vincent actually didn't forget this year. He sent you a birthday gift. Donate it, I said without taking it, not at all curious about what was inside. All right. Oh, did you hear? Cora has been blacklisted from the industry. Brenda said with a wide grin. Your jealous boyfriend has been giving Vincent a hard time. Right. A new illegitimate son of the Vincent family pops up every now and then to fight for the inheritance. He's so busy with that. He has no time for Cora. Without Vincent to support her, her resources dried up. But she was too proud to take on small roles. I don't know what she did, but she ended up with that old man from the Bai family. A man in his 60s can't handle that kind of excitement. He ended up in the ICU and still hasn't woken up. I couldn't help but feel a little sigh. No wonder she had been spamming me with angry messages lately. Brenda, I have some more dirt on her and Vincent. Find a good time to release it. The weather's turning cold. I think it's time for the Vincent Group's stock to take a nosedive. When dealing with enemies, kicking them when they're down is the best strategy. Cheers. Cheers. My phone rang. Seeing the caller ID, I couldn't help but smile. Honey, I'll be there in 10 minutes. I miss you so much. Do you miss me? I miss you. In life, meetings and partings are all destined. You don't need to force anyone to stay, nor do you need to go out of your way to meet someone. The mountains and seas have their season to return. The wind and rain have their moment to meet.